welcome to Everything Jenny. I'm Jenny Bergen, and I want to start today by thanking my subscribers. I know I have a few new subscribers this week, and I want to welcome you back to the podcast. In addition, I want to say welcome to any new viewers we may have. I'm very happy to have you here today. And I do want to let you know that I am Everything Jenny. I have a Ravelry group, Everything Jenny, but I'm also Everything Jenny on Instagram, Facebook. I have a group. I have an Etsy shop that is Everything Jenny, and a website that is everythingjenny.com. So I want to let you know today, in preparation for my podcast, I wasn't really sure exactly what I was going to use to record. I knew a space that I was going to lay out, and that space happened to be here in my craft space. So I started out by creating the scene for my podcast, and I knew that I needed something to record with. At the time, I hadn't really thought about audio, and I hadn't really thought about video equipment. So what I did is I started with just my iPad, and I loved the way it recorded, and it seemed to capture really well. The problem that I encountered was that my iPad would quickly run out of space for my video. So I've been on the hunt for a new method, and today I'm trying my laptop, my MacBook Air, and I've also thought about the aspect of the audio, and how the audio can come from the internal mic, but it also can come from an external microphone. And so, being that my husband does music, I asked for some solutions, and he suggested a condenser mic. So he has one, and it plugs into my MacBook Air through the USB cable, and it comes in this nice little case. It's a Samsung Go mic. And you can see here when you open this up, it's this small little condenser mic. And it just kind of flips around, and it has a clip that will clip on to a stand, and this can move around in different positions. It lets you know when it's recording with a little green light, and it produces really great sound. So I just wanted to let you know a little bit about that podcast setup, and that I have now decided to start using that as my setup for my microphone. And I'm trying out the laptop, and I'm not 100% sold on it yet, but we'll see how that goes. And to start off with my projects, I have some works in progress. I know last week I didn't really have any progress on my Coziest Memories blanket. I don't have much more this week, but I finished my red square that I had, the tart, Madeline Tosh tart. So I currently have these squares, and I have started the Madeline Tosh whiskey barrel colorway. And so that colorway is kind of a really pretty brown, it's got a little bit of variegated color in it, and I really like the look of this color, and I like using the dark next to the tart. So I definitely think that's a good way to go. I also ordered new yarn. So I received this week in the mail from Etsy these colorways, and I know they're kind of hard to see in this light, but you can get a little bit of a view. They're a spring colorway. So all of these colors, they're pinks, oranges, blue, green, and kind of a light brown. So these I'm excited to give a try. They are fingering weight yarns, and they are superwash merino, cashmere, and nylon. So an 80-10-10. And when I ordered them, they come in 25 yards per skein, and they come in little mini skeins, and I went ahead and just kind of wound them into little cakes. They're not the best little cakes that I've wound, but I found it easier to work from those than the ball that kind of rolls around on me. So I have those, and then on that, I don't know if you could see it before, but I have this adorable little stitch marker. And this little stitch marker is from Pearl Smith. And I don't know if it's really showing up well, but Pearl Smith has these stitch markers that come in this cute little tin. And they are, let's see, artisan freshwater pearls and sterling silver stitch markers. So this particular size goes up to a size 8 needle. These are handmade in Oregon, and they're guaranteed to be snag free. So I've been using it with my sock, Coziest Memories sock blanket, and seeing how it works with this finer yarns. I'm really, really liking how it just makes it have that little pop when I'm looking at my projects. So that's definitely a recommend. So Pearl Smith stitch markers. Another project that I had started it last week, and I hadn't made much progress, is the, let's see, the Whispering Pines Shawl by Molly of A Homespun House. And this week, I don't have much more progress on it, but I do have more going on than I had last week. So this week, you can see I've got kind of the shawl working its way out. I still need to get 233 stitches on my needles, so I'm still a ways away from that, but it's making good progress. And again, you can kind of here see just a teeny bit of those little pearl bumps I was talking about last week that are those snowflakes. So you can't really see it a lot, but you can definitely see a little bit when you take a look at it. And so this is making some progress, but definitely needs some more time dedicated to it. And then the hiker sock that I told you I had made very little progress with my husband's hiker sock last week. I have finished sock 1 of the hiker sock. So this one is now ready to be blocked and worn, and I've got the modified Eye of Partridge heel on here, and it's just a ribbed pattern, and the top stays as a ribbed pattern down to about the toe. And I had to modify this, even though the pattern said to do the knit, decrease round, and then knit around, decrease round, knit around. I found that if I did that, this was going to be much longer than it was supposed to be. And I'm knitting the gauge that it says. And so I'm finding that I had to really modify the toe for this particular sock. And so I did basically a decrease. After my first 4 rounds, I just did a decrease round. And instead of ending with 4 stitches on each needle at the end, I had 10. And so then I did the little trick for binding off 1 stitch on each end of each needle. So then I was left with 8, and I did the Kitchener stitch toe. So I had asked for suggestions from my husband on what he would want, what he would wear, what would be comfortable on his foot. So that's what he chose. And so I have 1 sock done, and he's very excited to get the other one, because with the rainy El Nino coming, he's looking forward to being able to wear some comfortable and warm socks when he's here at the house, or when we go out and actually travel through the rain and he has on his rain shoes. He wanted something that would keep his feet warm. So 1 sock is done. Yay! And I'm hoping to have the other one done. I told him it'll take me about a week, week and a half or so if I work every day on it. But we'll see how that goes. So that's my hiker sock. And then this week, I said I was going to start another project, and I did end up starting this project. It's a mitten, and it's just the start of the mitten, and it has some cables, so you can kind of see those cables in there, right at the front there, and it's kind of off to the side here on these needles. But this is that Cruiser Mittens pattern by Kaylin Meyer. dailyskein.wordpress.com, and I am using the Madeline Tosh colorway Tannenbaum, and it's the Madeline Tosh Vintage. And this is a size US 6 4.0 millimeter double pointed needles. And these are the Knitter's Pride, which I really like the Knitter's Pride needles. So I'm finding that to be good. And I just started this this morning, so I haven't made much progress on it, but I'm hoping that being the thicker yarn, the larger needles, that it'll go a little bit quicker. And it does require some cabling, so that will take just a tad longer to do. But I'm doing the smallest size, that is for women's small or a child's large, because my hands tend to be very small. So I'm going to go ahead and do the child size or women's small. And then I was supposed to start the, which one was it? The Rustling Leaves Beret. And I got really excited about these mittens, and I started the mittens instead. So I've got mittens going. I'm hoping to finish a sock and cast on that Rustling Leaves Beret this week. If I don't, then I will definitely start it next week. And in addition to that, I think those are all my works in progress. And then I did finish some sewing projects this week. So you can see here, this one is my medium-sized project bag, and this is the Earth Day bag. It's got organic and flowers and shopping bag, recycling, and this one has a handle this time. So I've added to my medium-sized project bags the webbed handle, and this one has a light blue zipper, and then when you open it, it has this really pretty leaf, kind of cream and brown colored fabric inside, and it does have that contrasting pocket in there. And so this pattern, this particular bag is available now on Etsy. And then I promised a Valentine bag. So I got a Valentine bag done, and you can see here it's got some sparkles. So this one's sparkly, and it has hearts and swirls, and it's red and pink, and it also has the handle. And they both bags have the Follow Your Heart little zipper pull that can become the stitch marker or progress marker. And again, this one, when you open it, has a sparkly pink fabric inside with a contrasting pocket again. And these are both in the Etsy shop now. And in addition, I did do some double pointed needle case holders. So the Valentine fabric has some light pink snaps. I know they kind of look white here, but they are light pink. And again, that fabric inside is also light pink. And then the Earth Day bags, one has orange snaps and one has yellow snaps. So both of those are available in my Etsy shop. And I'm hoping to have some more projects coming up in there. I'm looking to make a smaller project bag and a larger project bag, as well as a notions bag and some other little surprises that you'll see. And then in addition to my sewing projects, I did have one finished object this week. I started and finished a miscarriage blanket. Now I still have to weave in the ends, but this is a miscarriage blanket, and it's out of the Bernat Softy Baby, and it was with a crochet hook size G. So I did that this week, and I'm part of a Ravelry group where we do stuff for preemies, we do bereavement blankets, and we do miscarriage blankets. And I really felt touched by the miscarriage blankets, because I felt that we often, when women do actually deliver a baby, and even if we have a stillborn baby, or there's a more of a emphasis put on the you've lost your baby because there's been an actual baby to bury and things. But when women have miscarriages, people often forget that we've actually had a baby and that baby's been lost. And so these were the project for kind of giving women a reminder that you're not forgotten and that your baby's not forgotten. And so I thought that was very special, that there would be this adorable little commemorative blanket to just commemorate that they did actually have a baby and that they just didn't get to actually meet their baby. And so these are actually crocheted, And this is a shell pattern, and it basically comes out to be about the size of a washcloth. So it's not really big. It's just something that is for them to hold and to touch and have that touch therapy. And so having something that someone recognizes that they've actually had a baby and that they've lost their baby and that they have something to kind of just touch and kind of remember. And I believe when they package these, there's a little candle that gets put with it and some other little like poem and a little angel. And so it's something to actually think about for them. And so I thought that's something that I really felt drawn to. So I've gone ahead and created several of these, and I get them mailed off every once in a while and just add them to the pool of miscarriage blankets that are sent in. So that one is the only project I have done this week. And then again, I told you I'm going to hopefully cast on the Rustling Leaves beret. And then I'm still looking for looking for shawl patterns. I need a shawl pattern or several that are about 400 yards or less of a fingering or sock weight yarn. And I'm looking for those for the yarn that I showed last week, so that people can, feel free to message me or send me any information if you maybe have a pattern in mind. Otherwise, I'm still on the lookout for those. And then I mentioned last week I'm part of the Love Notes postcard project by Jennifer Beltoff. And this week I received this adorable postcard from a friend that we are not postcard Love Note partners this round, but we still, after you've sent to someone, you periodically will just send a little love note with the prompt and give them a little surprise. And so she surprised me this week. I was very excited to get this. And this is her photography. She has her postcards are where she creates postcards based on her photographs. So she always sends those, and she always has these adorable little pictures with them. And this one it reminded me of yarn because of the puffball and the soft, cottony, the little weed that we all see as spreads as we blow the weeds away. But it was so cute and definitely reminded me of fiber. So I love that. And thank you, Christine. And then I did, from my actual Love Note partner, I received this postcard this week. And it happens to have my favorite Thoreau quote on it about going confidently in the direction of your dreams and live the life you've imagined. I absolutely love this quote. It's one of my absolute favorites. So she sent me that this week. Beautiful card. I love the torn edges, and she created this week, wrote it on there. And just even her writing on the back is just so adorable, and she's got perfect writing. I love it. So that's my Love Notes postcard projects this week. And I don't have any recipes that I tried out this week. I kind of had a busy week. And over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be starting teaching a couple new courses at the university. So I will maybe not make as much progress as I'm hoping to this next couple of weeks. But I'm going to get going on that and get those students going, and hopefully have some downtime to knit, and hopefully have that downtime before my trip to try and finish a project before I take a little trip. And otherwise, I would love to hear if you're working on the Coziest Memories blanket and you have any pattern that's different pattern that you're using, or the same pattern. What size needles are you using? The yarns you're using. Let's see, who are your favorite yarns that you're using for the project, or if you have any works in progress or finished objects that you'd like to share. I would love to hear about those things. I would love to see any of that in the WIPs thread or the FOs thread on the Everything Jenni Ravelry group. So please join us there. We have a knit along that will be coming up in maybe the next few weeks. We're looking at possibly a February or March start date. So I'm hoping to have that up and having a friend on to help introduce that. And if you have anything that you'd like to have me address in the podcast or talk about, I believe next week I might have some art projects that I'm working on that I might share next week. So I have definitely some yarn projects that I'm working on I will share. So until next time, I wish you happy knitting, happy crocheting, happy sewing, creating. Have a great week. Go out and touch someone's life this week and be a blessing to them. So otherwise, I will see you next week. Hugs.